The information on this podcast from Dr. Troy Munson is meant to educate the listener on a variety of health issues. It is not meant to diagnose or treat any conditions.
Has your health been covered up? Today, it's Revealing Wholeness with Dr. Troy Munson, presented to you by Infinity Whole Health.
Hello and welcome. I'm Dr. Troy Munson on Revealing Wholeness. Today we're going to talk about our upcoming event this next Wednesday, which is May 15th. And in that hormone talk, we're going to talk about men's issues like low testosterone. And so I want to give you an overview of testosterone and prostate health and how that kind of fits into the overall quest for good health for men, longevity for men, living a long time, having a great life, having great muscle tone, not having a lot of fat on the body, sexual response, all that kind of stuff that's really great for us as men. It makes living worth living. Also, having a great prostate and having good testosterone makes us very calm and relaxed. We can actually interact with our wives and our loved ones without, coming unglued. And so the high stress that we have as men in our jobs tends to drive testosterone down because we're converting that testosterone to cortisol because of that stress level. So let's go through this and unpack this all today. So prostate doesn't function alone. We've got the testes in there. We've got the adrenals. We've got the thyroid, we've got the pituitary, the hypothalamus, we've got these glandular systems that are all trying to help manage. So let's just take it from the top. When stress hits a man, or anybody for that matter, it's going to hit our adrenals first that sit right on top of the kidneys. Those adrenals are going to try to manage that stress by producing some amounts of cortisol, our stress hormone. If they're constantly under pressure day in, day out, which they were not designed to do, they start to become depleted. And most importantly, what they want to use is to make hormones, they need zinc and they need copper. And so those are the two of the biggies, and plus they need some decent oil. So when we start depleting the adrenals, we now start going after the sex hormones. That's when we start punishing the testes and punishing the pituitary and the hypothalamus, and we start dysregulating the system further. When those systems finally become depleted, now years of handling stress, we now start getting low thyroid. And that's when we start getting calcium issues, heart issues, all these other cascade problems that go with it. So when I have a man come to me who's got high blood pressure, they've got heart disease, I know that they've been under stress and doing damage to their body for many, many decades. And they think that, hey, if I just do this one simple thing, it's just going to be fixed in a couple months. And that just isn't reality. And so these problems, by the time we have them, I have to gently enlighten people that they're in this for the long haul if they really, really want to be well. But now let's dial that all into the prostate. So how does the prostate then handle all this? The prostate is one of the sites in the male body where we turn testosterone into a stronger, more potent form of testosterone called androstenedione. And we need to do that like no tomorrow. If we don't, we start converting regular testosterone into estrogen. And estrogen tends to make our gallbladder go bad, makes us gain weight. And so the extra cortisol, the extra, testosterone that can be converted to estrogen, the high stress, the poor fat diet, the not doing good fiber that's going to detoxify our blood as the liver's trying to do its job, foods that are depleted in B vitamins, thicken bile, and that means that our liver doesn't function very well anyways, and we're not converting some of our hormones to their active form in the liver like we should be. I mean, there's a whole lot of things that go into a human body when it comes to low testosterone for men. But we want to really work on the prostate for good health. And what the prostate requires is good oil and iodine. And good oils meaning real grass-fed butter fat. So we would like to see heavy whipping cream in your diet that's grass-fed. We'd like to see yogurt that's grass-fed yogurt. Even the meat off of the animal, if it's grass-fed, it'll have a little bit of a gamey taste, and that's good omega-3 fats that can be converted to those fats that the prostate needs. And then iodine. So not only does our thyroid need a lot of iodine, but so does our prostate. And so the prostate then becomes more and more healthy and more robust as we have higher and higher iodine levels. Now, the RDA, if you've listened to some of my podcasts on iodine, the RDA for iodine is very low, and it's ridiculously low. And it's that low because what they did is they gave people radioactive iodine, and anything over 150 micrograms of radioactive iodine tend to do damage to the thyroid. They said, well, an upper limit of iodine then is 125 micrograms. But that's not even reality. If you give real iodine to somebody, how much do they really need? Well, one of the ways we test that is we'll do a urine collection, a 24-hour urine collection, and we'll do 50 milligrams of iodine that day. And if a person doesn't need iodine, they'll spill almost that full 50 milligrams out in their urine. But typically, they don't even come close. And so we believe that on average, the man needs about 2 to 4 milligrams a day of iodine. Women need a little bit more because breast tissue concentrates iodine for nursing moms. And so women tend to have a little bit more iodine than men for their RDA, technically. So those of you that are thinking, hey, I'm going to go do some iodine, be a word of caution. The more iodine you do, the more it wants to pull other nutrients out of your body to process it fully and integrate it into tissue correctly. And you'll start throwing other symptoms. So you could get swelling on the ankles, could get headaches, could get digestive complaints or pain. All those are telling us other deficiencies or toxins that are in your body that your body's actually getting stronger and pushing out because of the iodine. So don't do this alone unless you're doing it with somebody who knows what they're doing. I do expect if you're going to be a man with thyroid issues and you're having your thyroid checked, that as you do iodine, I'm going to expect your TSH levels to go up. TSH stands for thyroid stimulating hormones. Thyroid stimulating hormone comes from your pituitary. And when there's a lot of iodine in the blood, the hypothalamus and pituitary register it, and so they start kicking out thyroid stimulating hormones saying, hey, thyroid, there's a bunch of iodine for some reason in our diet right now. Go ahead and concentrate it, get it, pull it out, and store it so we can use it for the famine that's coming if we don't get in our diet anymore. And so it naturally raises and elevates, and that's okay. That's just stimulating the thyroid to pull in that iodine, and that's okay. So I want you to understand that concept too. So one last thing on the prostate is it also needs a fair amount of selenium, which is vitamin E. So it needs iodine, selenium, and then wheat germ oil is my favorite thing to use because wheat germ oil itself is so potent, it tends to help both men and women produce sex hormones, which makes them build muscle, protect digestion, protect the brain, everything that we kind of want to feel as an adult male and female and feel robust. So as we dig into this prostate, we have a prostate that will enlarge because it's searching for these elements, for these things. And so any tissue that's trying to find something will enlarge, like a thyroid enlarging into a goiter looking for iodine. The thyroid will also have nodules on it when it's looking for selenium, much like the prostate will enlarge and become benign hypertrophied or hypertrophic of the prostate. So watch for those conditions, and they're correctable, in my opinion. And so for those of you that are having some struggles with low T and thinking that prostate might not be so good, definitely give us a call. We'll sit down. We'll talk about a strategy that works for you, and it's going to be really your whole history and all the other symptoms that you may bring to the board that's going to help figure out what is the best plan of attack for your body to fortify it and rebuild it so that the prostate can do what it needs to do. So I hope that gives you kind of a window of information there of the prostate and gives you an idea of where you may want to need to go. And until next time, I'm Dr. Troy Munson on Revealing Wholeness.
This concludes another episode of Revealing Wholeness with Dr. Troy Munson. If you have any questions concerning this podcast or others, you can reach Dr. Munson by email at chiroman, that's CHIRO man, at dr.com. Or you can call him at his office during office operation hours at 360-893-8586. This show is sponsored by Infinity Whole Health on the Disruptors Podcast Network.